In Rome, the head of the Catholic Church used a papal mass to call for dialogue and reconciliation in Egypt.
Giungono purtroppo notizie dolorose dall'Egitto.
He said his prayers were with all the victims and their families, the wounded and all those suffering. In Turkey, Prime Minister Erdogan called on the United Nations Security Council to be urgently convened, and he launched a fierce attack on Western nations for lacking the will to prevent the violence in Egypt.
Batılı ülkelere açık açık sesleniyorum.
I'm calling on Western countries. You remain silent in Palestine, Gaza. You remain silent in Syria. 100,000 people lost their lives, and you are still remaining silent. You are still silent on Egypt. So how come you talk about democracy, freedom, global values, and human rights?
As the full scale of events in Egypt becomes clearer, so too the language of condemnation from around the world grows stronger. Here in London, the Egyptian ambassador was called into the Foreign Office to be told of Britain's deep concern. A spokesman said Britain condemned the use of force to clear the protest and urged Egyptian authorities to act with the greatest restraint. As these scenes went round the world, many other countries have taken similar action. In Paris, the Egyptian ambassador was called in by the president, who afterwards issued this statement. France is committed to finding a political solution and calls for elections to be held as soon as possible, in accordance with the commitments made by the Egyptian transitional authorities. Another European nation, Denmark, has reacted to the killings by announcing that it's halting aid to Egypt. Germany told Egypt the bloodshed must come to an end now. The language is getting stronger, the pressure on Egypt is growing. Harry Smith, Al Jazeera.